Hey everybody, welcome back to another special weekend edition of Woodmere State Revival. Amber and I are down here at the house this weekend without the boys. They're visiting the grandparents, and so we are trying to get as much accomplished this weekend as we possibly can. The boys needed a break. They get tired of being down here all the time, so we sent them off to Grandma and Granddad's, and they're going to spend the weekend having fun with their cousins and hanging out and just relaxing and being kids. So again, we're going to take advantage of this time without the kids to try to get as much accomplished as possible. Amber right now is working in the pool. She's finishing up that last wall of where the water line tile came off. She's grinding off the last of the thin set there. If you remember from the previous video, I'd gotten 3 walls done, and there was one more that needed to be done, and so she jumped in there today and is tackling that. We also are going to work on picking up a lot around the place. The contractors are pretty well done. They are just cleaning up and getting the last of their stuff out of here. So phase 1 of the reconstruction is done, and the skid steer that you can see behind me is going to be going away with them. So I'm going to make use of the skid steer this weekend to try to get as much of the big debris and everything moved out of the front yard, out of the backyard, last of the logs and everything cleaned up from the big log job we did a few weeks ago. And also going to be working on the fence that goes behind the property. We have to cut all the brush and vines and poison ivy off that fence and then start cutting that loose and then dumping it into the dumpster. We're going to get rid of that big high fence in behind the property, and we're going to put up a smaller kind of picket fence, more colonial style, and do some creative landscaping on the hillside to make it look better. So let me give you a quick tour of the job site and show you exactly what we're going to be getting into today. All right, so I'm standing here in the driveway, and off in the distance you can see a plume of dust going up in the air from where Amber's working in the pool down there. She is a trooper, I tell you what. It is stinking hot in that pool today. It's going to be up in the 90s today. Here's our skid steer that we have on loan from the contractor, so trying to make use of that and get the last of the debris and dirt and everything moved from around the house. This is that fence that I was telling you about, and as you can see, it starts down here at the stone wall, and then they've got steel poles that go up and a steel top rail on it, and then they've got this metal wire stretched across it. And originally when the house was built, they had vines trained on it. Well, the vines are still there, but they've gotten so overgrown that they've grown all the way to the top of the fence, and the bottom of the vines have gotten real woody, and there's no green growth left on them, and now they're just kind of draping over the fence and hanging way out onto the property. So it looks horrible. Not to mention there's poison ivy and everything else mixed in there now, so that stuff's got to go. So we're going to cut this fence down and load it up in the dumpster and get rid of it. Let's take a walk down around the property here. Let me show you what Amber's getting into. And again, you remember we had all this foundation dug out, everything waterproofed all along here. The guys have been hard at work in the house. They've gotten the entire main floor reframed, and it's looking phenomenal. They got some sheeting laid out in here as well, so that we actually have a place to get in here and work and store some stuff out of the weather. But the reframing is done. Yesterday they were working on a sister to joist on there because the plumber years ago had sawed through a lot of that joist to get the main waste line out of the bathroom upstairs, and then they put some double joist going across here. All these joists had been rotted by the upstairs bathroom leaking. So they were able to save 1-2 joists there, and then they doubled up here to catch the hallway, and then they've got brand new joists and double joists all the way across this area, and then they had to redo the top plate on the wall over there because it had rotted as well. So that was the last of the work they had to do, and they've just spent the rest of the day yesterday cleaning up. And again, in here you can see where all the new framing is and everything. Looking phenomenal. Let's take a jump out on the porch here. Amber's going to be working this weekend too, cleaning this porch off so we can start using it, getting all the dirt and the mud off. Let's take a look over here and see what she's up to. She is hard at work. She's got her fan going there, trying to blow some of the dust away from her and keep her somewhat cool. But if you remember from last time, we had this diamond cup wheel for the grinder, and we are using that to remove all the old residue from where the previous water line tile was set and give us a nice smooth foundation for the new water line tile. So she's working hard trying to get all this stuff taken care of, and really looking good over there in all her personal protective gear. She's got her headphones on, she's got her respirator on, she's got her mask on there, so she's looking great. Hey babe, how's it going? Thumbs sideways. That doesn't sound too good. Is it as hot in there as it looks?
Yeah. And the grinder is stuck in the on position.
Grinder is stuck in the on position?
Yeah.
You broke my grinder? I used it all weekend. What happened?
Whatever.
Yeah, okay. Sounds suspicious.
It had suspicious wiring anyways.
Well, that didn't have anything to do with the switch. Anyways, it looks like you're making some progress.
Yeah. Gotta get a drink though.
It's working okay? Outside of being stuck in the on position?
It just takes a lot more, I think, muscle from me than it does you.
Okay.
I have to give it body weight to
All right.
get it, you know.
Well, you're doing a great job. Doing a great job. It's looking good. And as you remember from last weekend, we got this wall and this wall and this wall all done already. So just trying to get this last wall knocked out, and then we're ready to start getting cleaned up in here and get some new tile on, plaster repaired, new coping.
Woohoo!
Very exciting stuff. All right, babe, we'll check in with you after a while.
Chris is just getting started on the chain link fence. We've got to get all of the brush down. He's got a big job ahead of him. After we get all the brush and vines, we'll be able to start trying to take down the fence. One thing you probably can't see in the video is the poison ivy that is just infesting all of this. I feel like I am getting it just standing here. So Chris is making some progress. He's made it probably a third of the way down the wall. And we had to take a somewhat long break to find the air filter and housing that fell off of the weed eater that was moving. But we found it. I went up to the house to see if it was in the garage, and while I was up there, he found it down here. So we're back in business. Can I see what he's done? And what he has left to do. So while he does that, I'm going to go back to the pool and use the grinder. I've about had it. I'm halfway done, and my arms can't take much more, but I'm going to go try to get as much done as I can. The boys are with my parents this weekend, so we've got the entire day to get some work done. So I'm going to power through.
So there you go. You got about half of the fence trimmed out at this point. It was hot, nasty work, but it's looking a whole lot better. It's gonna look even better once the fence is gone and all that brush has gone off the hill. Whew. Man, it's just full of poison ivy and vines and everything else. See all the stuff that's laying here on the ground. I've been cutting off. Let's go see what Amber's up to. See a cloud of smoke in the air going past Neptune. She's grinding away. So she's a little more than halfway done too. Got it smoothed out nicely. Looking really good. Looking good. Me too. I think it's time for a break. She's gone droopy. How about a water break?
Are you taking one?
Yeah.
I'm in.
I'm overheated. Let's go.
All right. Chris is getting ready to put in the slider and the other door. It's unsalvageable. Here we go. Got to get these out of the way so we can finish getting all the bushes and weeds out. I thought this would be a little more dramatic, but we've got a lot of brush in there. No broken glass. I guess that's a good thing. Good job, honey. Very good. I don't know what we're going to do when this thing isn't with us anymore. Alright, you can see where we started. We had to move some stuff out of the way, so we had to take a quick break, but you can see Chris made it all the way down here. And the sun is just directly overhead, or actually a little bit in front, so he's having trouble seeing. So he's actually going to start at the other end and then work his way back so the sun's not in his face. We had to get all these boards out of the way. They were kind of leaned up against the wall, so we got that done. It's not where they're going to stay, but that's about all we can handle for right now. So we got a little bit more to go. I finished all the grinding on the pool, so I am thankful to be done with that. There's a bear. Well, here we go. See how well Chris can balance himself. Standing on top of the pool equipment room. Wow. It is grown up. So I'm sure some of you are wondering why in the world they would have put a 10-foot tall fence back here, but Chris and I found a picture of this space when we were cleaning out the house, and it actually was very pretty. They had the vines that were trained to go up the fence, and it was very, it was manicured. You really couldn't see through the fence. It just looked like a head of shrubbery. It's very pretty, but it's just out of control. And we really want to get the fence out of the way. The bank behind it is a little bit steep, but we really want to put some native, ferns and plants where we can. Love to have some hydrangeas. It'll take us a few years to get it looking pretty, but we'll get there. That might be easier to take down than we think. I would like to come back and put like a very small white picket fence. Maybe 2 to 3 feet high. Just really to to add a little decorative touch. to there. Wow. That's some impressive work. Good job, honey.
Thanks.
I know. Let's go home.
Well, that does it, folks. We are wore out and finally got to a good stopping point. We just got all the stuff put away and ready to go up to the house, get showered up, and cook a little dinner.
Yeah.
It was a heck of a day, wasn't it, hon?
It was. I'm ready for some filet and roasted green beans.
That sounds pretty good. You cooking?
You're grilling.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll take care of the green beans.
All right. Sounds like a deal. But we had a very productive day. Amber was able to get the last wall in the pool
Yeah.
ground down. Looks really good.
Thank you.
And I worked on the fence all day.
Yeah. That's it.
That was brutal.
Slacker.
Yeah. It was brutal. We finally got the last of it off. The vines were tough. They put up a good fight, but thankfully the old trusty steel string trimmer with the chainsaw head waded through all of them and got them done. I think I'm gonna have to get a new chain though.
That's okay.
It ate the fence too many times.
I know. You deserve a new one.
Thanks. Well, let's show everybody what we got done, shall we? So there it is. The final wall has been ground smooth. Amber's expert grinding skills polished off all the old thin set and smoothed out any rough areas in the wall. We got a few spots we're going to have to fill in a little bit where the concrete didn't quite fill in like it was supposed to behind the forms there. But that's fine. We can use some plaster or thin set to fill that in. But overall, we got it looking really good. No sign of any cracks along the top there, and our new waterline tile and coping is going to look really good on there, isn't it, babe?
It is. I can't believe that you got 3 sides done in the day, and it took me the same amount of time just to do one. But
Huh. Well, you still did a great job. Looks fantastic. Good
it'll
work.
do.
Good
It'll
work.
do.
All right, let's take a look at this fence. For the first time since we moved in, you can actually see all of the fence in its hideous glory. But you can see now from one end to the next, got all the vines cut off of it. A lot of that stuff still laying down here next to the wall. We got all the vines cut off. And you can see where some trees have actually grown through the fence in places. They started out on one side and then finished up on the other side, like this poplar here.
That's hilarious.
That fence is in bad shape. It's had some trees fall on it and everything else. It's kind of leaning out towards the house from the pressure of these trees. You can see the huge pile of debris that came off of that. So now we're left with having to get the fence down. That should be fun. I think we'll probably use the skid steer and a grinder. Kind of cut all the fence loose and take it out section by section.
Sounds easy peasy.
Yeah. I'm sure it will be. So we're going to head home and rest up, get ready to come back down tomorrow morning. Try to get down here before the heat really sets in. It was 90 plus all day today. It's kind of tough, wasn't it, hon?
It was. Brutal.
So thank you guys for hanging out with us. Please be sure to hit that subscription button so you don't miss a single episode of Woodmere Estate Revival. Be sure to give us a like as well. We appreciate that. Got any comments or questions, leave those below. And as always, please share the channel with your friends and family. We do appreciate all our followers. Always looking for more, so please keep spreading the word. See you guys real soon. Thanks.